Imagine being trapped in a war zone, unable to escape, with the constant fear of death looming over you. This is the reality for thousands in Gaza's Jabalia camp. Médecins Sans Frontières reports that no one can get in or out of Jabalia camp without risking their lives. Sarah Vilstek, an MSF project coordinator, shares the harrowing experiences of those trapped, including 5 MSF staff members. Haydar, an MSF driver, voices his fear and desperation, saying, "I don't know what to do. At any moment we could die." Meanwhile, the Spanish Prime Minister demands an end to all violence against UN peacekeepers in Lebanon after recent attacks. Pedro Sanchez calls the violence against the Blue Helmets absolutely unacceptable and urges immediate action. In Gaza, the death toll continues to rise with dozens killed in Israeli airstrikes, including 15 in the Jabalia refugee camp. French President Emmanuel Macron suggests that stopping arms exports to Gaza and Lebanon is the only way to end the conflict. Macron condemns the deliberate targeting of UN peacekeepers, calling it absolutely unacceptable. Expert Daniel Seidman criticizes the Israeli government for not seeking a diplomatic solution to the war. Seidman highlights the disproportionate casualties and the urgent need for a ceasefire. Nobel laureate Toshiyuki Mamaki expresses sorrow for the children suffering in Israel and Gaza. Mamaki's organization, Nihon Hidankyo, recently won the Nobel Peace Prize, advocating for the abolition of nuclear weapons. The Israeli military is reviewing incidents where UN peacekeepers were inadvertently hurt in Lebanon. France summons the Israeli envoy to explain the attacks on UN peacekeepers, calling them serious violations of international law. Dozens of Palestinians are wounded by Israeli fire at a school sheltering displaced people in Gaza's Jabalia camp. Greta Thunberg leads a pro-Palestinian and climate protest in Milan, condemning the oppression of Palestinians. A Thai agricultural worker is killed by an anti-tank missile in northern Israel, highlighting the conflict's reach. Concerns grow over the impact of Israel's evacuation orders on Gaza's polio vaccination campaign. Spanish PM Pedro Sanchez urges the international community to stop arming Israel to prevent further escalation. The Gaza Health Ministry reports over 42,000 deaths since the Israeli offensive began in October 2023. The UN Rights Office states that over 100 medics and emergency workers have been killed in Lebanon since the conflict began. Lebanese PM Najib Mikati calls for a UN resolution demanding an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah claims responsibility for a drone attack on an Israeli military base in Haifa. The Belgian military evacuates over 100 Europeans from Lebanon amid escalating violence. The UN chief condemns Israeli attacks on UN peacekeepers, stressing the need to prevent further conflict escalation. Iran declares its readiness to defend its sovereignty against any Israeli attack, emphasizing its right to self-defense. One person is killed and many are wounded in an Israeli bombing in northern Gaza City. The U.S. raises concerns with Israel over the lack of humanitarian aid entering Gaza, urging immediate action. Israeli forces fire at a UN peacekeeper position in Lebanon, wounding 2 people and breaching another UNIFIL post. 16 Palestinians are rescued from the rubble in Gaza's Jabalia camp, highlighting the ongoing humanitarian crisis. Turkey condemns Israeli attacks on UN peacekeepers, calling for international accountability and adherence to international law.